Now to an update on a story that we first brought you yesterday. Baystate Health and Wellpoint have reached a new multi-year contract that maintains patients' access to their current doctors.
Western Mass News reporter Reagan Lokri has the story.
Concerned viewers reached out to our newsroom Monday after initially finding out that Wellpoint Insurance would no longer allow members to utilize Baystate Health hospitals and services.
Since the pandemic, there's been a shortage in all areas, including the medical field. There are more patients than there are medical professionals to see us.
Now, just one day later, Baystate and Wellpoint have come to an agreement. According to Baystate, Wellpoint members will continue to have access to all Baystate Health hospitals, facilities, doctors' offices, convenient care, and ancillary service centers, as well as its affiliated physicians.
When the notices went out, many constituents were not clear understanding of how they were going to get access to the health care. Also, the MTA of the local teachers union were vehemently trying to get answers as to where they would go.
Western Mass News spoke with State Representative Carlos Gonzalez. He tells us with the shortage of doctors following the pandemic, his office was urging the two parties to come to an agreement.
We know the place that Baystate has in health care system here and across Western Massachusetts, and it was critical and important for all the members to make sure that they can continue the health care that they wanted and needed with access to Baystate health systems.
Representative Carlos Gonzalez tells us the agreement is confidential. However, he is excited that the contract has been extended for 2 more years, and he plans to continue conversations on supporting the healthcare system so that everyone has access to affordable healthcare. Reporting for Western Mass News, I'm Reagan Lokri.